Thank you, Veronica, for that introduction. My name is Shayla, and I'm going to jump right into the skills model. The skills model was created by Michael D. Mumford. He believed that there were three categories in which a person needed to be skilled in order to be an effective leader. He did take the original work of Katz with the three skills approach, and that's where he piggybacked and formed his theories on leadership. The first category is competencies. Under competencies, you have problem solving skills, social judgment, and knowledge. Problem solving skills is pretty self explanatory. You need to be able to come up with unique solutions to problems as they arise. The next category is social judgment skills. Under social judgment skills, this will cover being able to understand the unique differences, person to person, culture to culture, overall, that people are different socially. As a leader, you need to understand this because it helps you know how to navigate when it comes to interacting with people from different social backgrounds. The next category is knowledge. Pretty self explanatory. You need to have knowledge of the job. Otherwise, how else will you be able to problem solve and assist your team if you can't, right? Okay, we'll go right on to the next category, which is individual attributes. Under individual attributes, you have general cognitive ability. This is a person's intelligence. You have crystallized cognitive ability. This is a person's ability to gain new knowledge. Can a person take in new information, compute that mentally, and then there you go. You have new intelligence within your mental space. The next category is motivation. This category is highly important because under motivation, you have the subcategory of influence. You cannot influence, if you can't influence a team, then it's very difficult for you to be a leader. You need to be able to get buy-in, you need to be able to connect in order to have a team successfully go towards a common goal. Lastly, you have personality. Personality impacts the development of one's leadership skills. Lastly, you have the outcomes of leadership. I coined it as the outcomes of leadership because essentially that's what it is. It's called leadership outcomes. Outcomes of leadership is what we're going to go with because essentially this is a cause and effect of the prior two categories that we discussed. If you are able to if you have competencies, if you have the correct individual attributes, it will lead you to the outcome of leadership. Under the outcome of leadership, you have effective problem solving. I'm going to read this verbatim. It says, good problem solving involves creating solutions that are logical, effective, and unique, and that go beyond information. This is verbatim from Zucaro. And then you have performance. Performance would be the degree in which a leader successfully performs their job. This would be measured by annual reviews, quarterly follow-ups, as well as annual raises. These are the sort of things that let you know if you are performing effectively as a leader. We were tasked with we were tasked with the job of finding a CEO over a Fortune 500 company that had leadership values that were in alignment with the three skills approach. We were able to find an interview between Jeff Bezos, the CEO and president of Amazon. He was interviewed by Steve Taylor. Steve Taylor is the chief pilot for Boeing Flight Services. In the interview, Jeff Bezos said that they have 14 principles of leadership. This is what he said verbatim. He said, good leaders are right a lot, but with practice, you can be right more often. Now, one of the main factors of the three skills approach is that there is a belief that leadership is a skill that can be developed. The fact that Jeff Bezos said with practice you can be right more often, it parallels with the core principle of the three skills approach. He believes that leadership is something that can be developed, is something that can be learned with practice. So what's the strengths and weaknesses? There are strengths and criticisms of the three skills approach. One one of the key strengths is that it's very broad. So it covers a lot of scope and skill that are needed from a leader. It also is developable. You can develop this skill. It has a core belief that it's something that can be developed, and that's very important for anyone trying to incorporate some sort of leadership skill set within an organization, because it gives you, which is the last strength, a structured way to incorporate and teach leadership. Some of the criticisms are, one, it goes beyond the boundaries of leadership. For instance, motivation, critical thinking, personality, those things address more than leadership by itself. Also, it lacks predictive cause and effect value. Yes, I can tell with the 3-skill approach, you'll be able to know how to teach a person something that they don't have, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what someone may come into along the lines future forward, because it's not a future forward leadership approach. It's something you look at the now, you see what's not there, you implement it and go forward. Lastly, the sample base for the 3 skills approach was very small. It was very small for one, and for two, it was largely over military personnel. So there isn't just a very broad sample in which to say that these are effective. In conclusion, despite the criticisms, I feel like the 3 skills approach does hold a lot of value. It can be teachable. It's very structured and orderly. So if anyone wanted to incorporate some ways of leadership or develop themselves, the 3 skills approach gives you a step-by-step guide on just how to do that. That concludes our presentation over the 3 skills approach. We hope that you found this information insightful and maybe you can use it going forward. Thank you.